people who are running the full marathon. We have a whole host of events today, Will.
We have 5K, we have the half marathon, we have a relay race. The half marathon sold out. That sold out weeks ago. And we have a great story.
I think a little bit of people who were training but maybe not as optimistic to do the entire
went to that.
race.
I think some people that are actually doing the full marathon might be like half marathon now and just turn back to the finish line at the halfway
I hope
point.
that nobody actually stays home because I know that people train for months.
Oh, there's
for
no
this
way.
Kind of an event.
You train for, like you said, for months on end, and when day is here, rain, shine, snow, sleet, tornado, mini blimps and all, you show up.
We knew it was going to be rain or shine today.
Yes, and it is. They were proving it.
And we were just talking about the Boston Marathon a little while ago, and of course, our hearts and thoughts have been with those people for a long 2 weeks now since it actually happened. But this is a Boston Marathon qualifier, so in my mind, I kind of expected a lot of people to be here running for the race, and especially I think next year, a lot of people are going to want to run that race to show solidarity with all of America, to be honest.
And we actually, myself and WNWO sports reporter Teresa Vignal, spoke to a lot of runners that were involved in the Boston Marathon, ran in it, and said they weren't going to go back before the bombings actually happened, and said, you know what, it's just a trip, it's a long hassle.
Yeah.
And then after it happened, they said, you know what, I'm definitely going back next year. So people are pulling together, going back together, and then a store down in Perrysburg, I believe it's called Second Running.
Runners Second
Soul? Well, Second, yes, that sounds much closer.
Okay.
So they pulled together and had a bunch of over 250 runners come together down in Perrysburg and run a 3 miles, bought Boston Strong shirts, donated $20 for each shirt, and that all went to One Boston Fund, which is the endorsed
One Fund Boston.
One Fund Boston, which is endorsed by the mayor, the Massachusetts governor. So obviously,
and we know
donate.
that by earlier this week, they had already collected more than $20 million thanks to all the donations already coming in. And I know that some of the runners here, we've done interviews with them this week. They're also running just to show their solidarity with Boston.
They're coming back in this. They're going to wear their Boston Strong shirts that they bought yesterday or 2 days ago, and there's going to be a lot of solidarity, and there's going to be people along the course cheering you on with signs, and people are going to come out. People prepare for this for months, like you said. We're still here. We didn't call the show off. We're here for you. That's why we're here.
And we're actually encouraging you to come on down, cheer some of the runners that are going to be running in the rain today.
Get behind us. Yell for us. We need you right now. It's beautiful, though.
Our focus, though, of course, is the Glass City Marathon here, and the Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon, I should say. And the race has actually changed over the years. They wanted to make the race a little bit more about the entire Toledo area. So we're going to go to our very own Norm Van Ness with a little bit more about the race, where the race will be traveling today.
The course layout for the Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon is not a haphazard one. In fact, event organizers laid out the course so that runners could get a feel for what our area is all about. A college campus, some nice neighborhoods, and even some quieter rural areas. Now, the course starts at the University of Toledo campus. A quick jaunt up one of the only 2 inclines on the course gets us out the front gate and on to Bancroft Street. By mile number 2, runners find themselves in Ottawa Hills, running past the high school and eventually weaving back and forth through its streets of beautiful homes and manicured lawns. This zigzag continues through mile number 7, where runners enter one of Toledo's favorite metro parks, Wildwood Preserve. Runners get to take in just some of the park's beauty before they hook up with the University Park Bike Trail, which will carry them westward, under the highway, all the way out into Sylvania Township as they pass Southview High School. By the time they turn north onto King Road, they will be a good 11 miles into the course. Feeling a little less urban and a lot more suburban, runners will push their way up to Brent Road for a quick left-right onto Summer Drive. It's here that they will cross the halfway mark. No time for a pat on the back, though. We've got a long way to go. Now the runners make the turn back east, bringing them back into the city limits of Sylvania, passing along the southern boundary of the famed Highland Meadows Golf Course, which will host the Jamie Farr Marathon Classic in July of this year. A right turn in the shadow of Sylvania Northview High School and a left onto Convent Boulevard will take the marathoners past the front of Lord's College before they head back south to Olander Park. Runners make the loop through Olander, eventually passing the statue of Cy Ma, a former professor at UT who at one point held the record for most marathons over the course of a lifetime, Professor Ma competed in 524 marathons over the course of his lifetime. Mile marker 17 marks an exit from Olander and an eastbound gut check along Sylvania Avenue. Racers will goo up along this stretch, taking on precious nutrients needed to get them to the finish line. A turn onto Corey Road will get them back into Wildwood Metro Park for a second time. This time past the Manor House and back onto the University Bike Trail for the final push home. The last mile of the course runs back through the UT campus, with mile marker number 26 hitting right next to Savage Hall. The last 0.2 of a mile take them across the road and into the Glass Bowl for an exhausted but happy run across the finish line.
Exhausted and happy is absolutely the right word.
We'll be here to welcome them.
Yeah, we'll be here well rested, wet, and ready to go. And we can actually hear Mayor Mike Bell just spoke and got the runners ready, and I think they're ready to start. So,
yeah, so we're going to take a quick break. Okay. I'm sure he'll repeat that.
Yeah.
Or at least I hope he
will.
Yeah, did you say toss to who? Oh, okay. Okay, yep. Yeah. And the road.
Oh, I thought we were going to the race there. I would have said, don't. Got a better tease. All right? Because my head's throbbing.
Seriously, what if your head just started gushing blood?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Did that hurt?
No, it was all.
Right on time. Okay, folks. For the wheelers, we've got a couple of wheelers.
The national anthem just wrapping up here. The national anthem, a beautiful song to start any sort of athletic event. The runners are getting ready, folks, and we're out here live at the Glass Bowl at the finish line for the 37th annual Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon.
And we're counting every single person in the starting block so we know who did not finish. So we want to see everyone cross the finish line. And right now we're going to go out to the starting line where they're getting ready to send everyone out of the blockades. Take it away and enjoy the sights and sounds.
We'll be checking in with you, though, from time to time.
All right, so Wheelers and Robin, we're going to give you a runner's set and a go. Runner's set. Horn. There we go. They're off. Come on, cheer them on. We got the Wheelers and Robin Maurer. All right, good job. Okay, once again, a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, to get your bibs on the front, on the outermost layer of your clothing. I'm sure you all have that done. If you're in the 5K, you're in the wrong start. And look for the pacers. If you want to run a 4 or a 3:05, get in the pace groups from Dave's Running Shop. So let's line up accordingly. You've got about 1 minute to the start of the Medical Mutual Marathon, Owens Corning Half Marathon, and relays. You got less than a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. And by the way, let's give you all a great round of applause for coming together for Runners United. A whole lot of people donated a whole lot of money for the cause in Boston. You guys are all responsible for that. Give yourself a good, rousing round of applause. Yeah. We're going to get this thing started here momentarily. Got 30, less than 30. Less than 30. Runners, we got about 15. I'm going to give you a runner set and go in about 10 seconds. Good luck to you all. Have a great race. We will be here at the finish waiting for you. Runners set, horn, and they're off.
Okay. I've already resorted back to the gloves here at the 37th Annual Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon. Will and I are here live at UT's Glass Bowl this morning.
Yeah, and you said you got your nails done, and now you have gloves on.
I thought I would be holding a mic for 4 hours today. Thought I'd want to have some nice nails, but we were kind of expecting it to be a little bit rainy. Norm throughout the week was sort of warning us that there may be rain, maybe it was going to be intermittent.
Well, it's letting up. It has let up a lot. So if you're kind of on the fence about coming out here, just come out here, even if it hasn't let up.
But you know what? I know that there are plenty of family and friends of the thousands of people that are running today that don't really have an option whether or not to come out. These kind of races, people train for them for weeks, if not months, and certainly family support and
any support.
Any kind of support is...
Strangers support is huge. Anyone cheering for you is a big deal. And there's actually a huge party tent over my left shoulder that you can hear. I don't know if that's
hear the music.
Chris Brown or I don't know who that is.
It's somebody.
It's a popular pop artist. It's going off, and you can hear that they're already partying and ready to have some fun.
And a really quick mention, we were just sitting here before everything just kicked off, and we saw in the sky a plane with a sign that said 415, I believe.
4/15/2013.
The day of the Boston Marathon bombings. Again, we're, of course, thinking about the victims and the 260 people that were injured, in addition to the 3 deaths that actually happened the day of the bombing. They're, of course, in the hearts and minds of our WNWO team, as well as a lot of the runners that are here. We've seen in the days since the bombing, so many of the runners have contacted us, telling us how they're running today for the Boston Marathon victims to show solidarity. They keep telling us just how runners are such a community, such a family, and they just want to show that they're supporting them all the way here in Toledo.
And we're going to have all of those stories. We have some great stories featuring those runners and some other runners. A runner from Kenya, Julius Kiptu, who is here and hopes to win the half marathon. He sends his winnings back to Kenya to his family, which they use for education. And don't forget, we are on air on Channel 24 or whatever your provider is for WNWO, online at northwestohio.com. And if you're really fancy, on your cell phone or on your iPad. And right now, we're going to head it out, and we're going to get a weather update from John James. John, how's it looking where you are? Is it raining over there?
Well, yeah, we're over in Old Orchard here, just about a mile into the race course, and unfortunately, the weather not looking great for spectators. Now, a different story for the runners today. Temperatures low 50s. I think this rain's going to be fairly light, fairly steady. Here they come now, the leaders heading on through. We're at the corner of Kenwood and Drummond at Old Orchard. But yeah, this looks like a pretty steady rain through at least the first half of the race. So half marathoners definitely going to be greeted by raindrops throughout. It's going to keep everybody cool. And that's what you need when you're running 20-plus miles, right? But temperatures low, possibly mid-50s, but I think we're going to pretty much stay in the low 50s for most of the race as this light rain drags down cooler air from aloft. But, boy, are they moving or what? Guys, it is impressive, and here comes a large batch of runners. Those are all the leaders, and, man, they move. I am amazed. So, guys, it's a wet one, not great for spectators. Just grab your umbrella along the race route. It's pretty widespread, but for the most part now, light rain. May turn moderate at times this morning, but it's definitely going to be wet. Not bad for running, spectating. Just grab your wet weather gear. And we'll throw it back to you guys.
Yeah, may not be the best weather for spectators, but we are braving the weather with them as well, even though it stopped raining just a little bit here.
So get to the finish line quickly, and you'll be dry. If you're out by John, you'll get a little wet apparently, but if you get to the finish line nice and quickly, and you'll get a prize, and you'll get a silver blanket, and you'll also get a no rain, so that's a plus.
And John was just mentioning just how the leaders just passed him and how quickly they were moving past him. We're going to take a quick look at the leader cam right now, but we'll be right back.
Yeah, you want to do the full screens before or after Julius? Let's do by the numbers so we can just talk about how it's grown.
Glass City Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon. Gotta keep reminding myself of that.
They pay good money for that.
They pay good money for that. Now we're here live at the Glass Bowl at UT, the finish line, where in about 2 hours or so we're going to see the first of the runners coming by. the fast guys and gals.
Yes, fast guys and gals, of course.
Well,
we'll see who finishes first.
But, you know, we were talking a little bit earlier when Norm showed us where the race was going to be going, that the race has changed over the years. 37 years right here in the Glass City. It changed in terms of route, but it's also changed by the numbers, right,
It's grown. Every race has grown. It was actually in 1972, it was the 9th largest marathon in the country. However, things have changed. Some races such as Chicago, New York, Boston have grown, and so Toledo's been pushed down. However, the numbers directly in Toledo have grown like crazy. We were talking about the half marathon that was sold out in a matter of days online.
People maybe not as optimistic that they could run the 26.2 miles it takes to run the full marathon.
I'm not going to criticize anyone that wants to run 13 miles. And so it's been an unbelievable growth.
And one of the
races,
the 5K, it's about to start right now. We're going to take you there.
I'd like to morning in Oklahoma City. We have runners today from 9 countries, 47 states, and at least a dozen of you wonderful folks that ran the Boston Marathon just 2 weeks ago. I'm hopeful that when you're finished, you'll have an opportunity to enjoy some of the other great sights of Oklahoma City, undergoing one of the most amazing renaissances of any place in the country. Our Arts Festival is open until 6 o'clock tonight. There are events down on the river. We've got folks open all over town that are here to welcome you, so please take advantage of all the things Oklahoma City has to offer. I just want to say once again, we're here to remember. This is a very special day, a very special place, and we wish you all Godspeed and cross the finish line.
All right, thank you very much, Meg. All right, runners, spectators, family members, this is the time when we remember just prior to our start. We ask you now for 168 seconds of silence, please.
Saw the first of the spectators start to arrive here bright and early. They still got a few hours, but maybe they're waiting for one of the first folks to start coming across the finish
these guys
line.
are fast, but they're not that fast. They're not going to get here in 10 minutes. But
no.
This rain has actually completely subsided at this point. I don't know if you've noticed that. I have.
I have certainly noticed it. Now, one of the things I did want to mention is we're talking about some of the runners that are going to be coming across the finish line around the 2-hour mark, because that is the faster paced.
That's
folks.
For the marathon.
That's for the full marathon.
Right.
And for the full marathon, I thought it was kind of interesting that there is a cash prize that goes along with this. For the full marathon, the first prize is $1,000, second place $750, third place $600, fourth place $400, fifth place $250, and one of the
last place gets their money back. Right? Isn't that how
no,
it works?
I don't
like
think
a fantasy
that's how it works.
league? Okay.
But we did talk to a guy earlier this week. He is a local guy who has roots back in Africa.
Yes.
But he is here following the American dream, in a sense.
Yeah, well, he's here. He works at Dave's Running. In Toledo. He has a work visa, so he works there, and he's here 7 months at a time. So when he's in Kenya, he's there training, and he comes here and pretty much just takes all the money from all the marathon. So it's an incredible opportunity for him. He's an incredibly nice guy. His name is Julius Kiptu. Yeah. He's from Kenya. He's running the half marathon today, and he expects to win. He said the great equalizer, though, was the weather, so he's not really sure if the weather's going to hold him back. But with the rain stopping, I think he has a good chance. He's very skinny, he said. Yeah. So he said, when it gets, well, you're going to hear it in a minute. But I also asked him before, I said, what's your secret to being such a great runner? And he said, I'm Kenyan. And I was all right, well, I guess
that's a pretty simple answer there, right?
I guess that's a pretty smart, and it's pretty honest, and that's what makes him so good. So without further ado, here's Julius Kiptu and his wonderful story coming across the lake from Kenya to America. That's Kenyan for I'm going to win the half marathon Sunday. Kiptu says he plans to run a 5-minute mile pace. I'm no mathematician, but that's fast. However, there is one person who could stop him, Mother Nature.
It depends on the weather. Sometimes the weather might be nice, the weather might not be good, so it depends on the weather. I'm skinny, and the more the cold, the more I get freezing. Like, it's not like we are used to running when it's cold.
Kiptu is sponsored and employed by Dave's Running, but the relationship goes much deeper.
They are like my family members, so I miss them when I am out of this country, but yeah, it's like my second home.
From day one, Julius was part of the family. I mean, he came in with that big smile. I call him Jules. It was an instant love affair, Julius with us and all of us with him. His personality just shines every time he talks and every time he talks to a customer.
Kiptu was introduced to the sport when he was a boy. Famous Kenyan runners would often speak at his school. However, it wasn't their words that got his attention.
Maybe have a car like them, because it's very hard to have a car in Kenya. So they come to school, visit us, and you have seen good cars, and I say, one time I need to be like them.
Kiptu is now one of them, but it's not the cars that fuel his passion for the Glass City Marathon.
I love running within the community that I have stayed for a long time. So almost everybody knows me in the store or in the community. So I love getting a lot of cheers within the community. So that's the important thing within Toledo.
A very cool story of Julius and his new family here in Toledo. Mm-hmm. And I tell you, we were in the store when he got there. It was his first time back at Dave's Running after being overseas in Kenya for about 4 or 5 months, and he said he missed him so much. He walked in the door, every single employee just ran to him, gave him a big hug, and he was welcomed back in the family, and they told him how the store has been doing, who the new customers are, who the new intern is, who the new employees are, and everything. And he was welcomed back, as you probably got the feel from that story of how much he's really loved there and how much just people really enjoy his presence. He's a good guy and very funny, as you probably can tell.
And for customers looking for a pair of running shoes, this is not a ploy to get you into Dave's Running, but wouldn't you want to get some advice on where to get the right running shoes from a guy
that runs
like
an hour?
That?
He won the half marathon before at 60-65, I believe his numbers were. Mm-hmm. And so he's hopefully going to win the half marathon today, take home a little bit of cabbage, send it back home. He sends it back home to his family where they use it for education. It's just a warm, heartwarming story, an amazing story, and good for him. And so many people are pulling for him. He said the community really knows him. That's why he loves running in this, because people all across the marathon see him and cheer for him, and so it keeps him going.
But right now, we're going to check in with some of the other races, the sights and sounds of the 37th annual Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon. Okay. I was like, wow. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
What's the girls in the road? Oh, I get that. Okay. I've done so many of these things, I can't remember.
Oh my God, I've actually had to do my job.
Don't worry, you said commercial.
Oh, you gotta help yourself.
I got some, thank you. 30 seconds. Yeah, 30 seconds. Yeah, I'm sure there is. There's some out there. Just crawl in there, Blake.
I hurt myself.
Welcome back, everybody, to WNWO's exclusive coverage of the 37th annual Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon. And we just stood up and actually noticed people are starting to fill in here at the finish line. And, well, the runners aren't going to be here for another few hours.
They're not, but everybody's still waiting. We figured that they probably came from the start line and started filling in, figured why not come to the finish line, get the best spots.
And you can see the bleachers are starting to fill up here a little bit. We have about 100 people in the bleachers and standing along the finish line. So if you're looking for a good seat, run over here quickly and get a good spot.
Run over here.
Yes, run. It's a marathon. Run. Don't walk.
We do want to say, of course, that while the Glass City Marathon is about athleticism, it is about people training for the race, it's also about fundraising. And there are several local charities that are going to be benefiting from the money that's raised today.
Not only from a money standpoint, but just from an awareness standpoint. Girls on the Run and a charity and a program, after-school program that we talk to that does great things. They combine running with girls' self-esteem and how to act and bullying and just to be a better person in society, frankly, and they do great work. So let's hear from them and their story of how the Glass City Marathon helps them.
1, 2, 3, girls on the run!
When I think Glass City Marathon, that's certainly not the group that comes to mind. But that's the beauty of this event. It gives the exposure to programs like Girls on the Run that are out to conquer much bigger issues than 26.2 miles.
It combines a curriculum that addresses healthy living and building self-confidence and making good choices, gossiping, bullying, a number of issues that affect our young girls today. They combine the curriculum with a running aspect of the program, so building in physical fitness.
While the girls say their favorite part is running, what they're learning is invaluable.
To be a positive and a nice person and to be, respect yourself and like everybody else.
This is the first year the group has been affiliated with the marathon, so their goal is really quite simple.
We're hopeful that more people in the community hear and know what Girls on the Run is.
And if the marathon doesn't raise awareness, I have a feeling word of mouth will be their new best friend.
It's really fun and everybody should do it, and it's such a good program.
Everyone's really kind and all the coaches are nice. It's really fun because all the girls encourage you and it's nice being kind of like sisters.
Girls on the Run is so much fun!
Now, Girls on the Run, not the only charity that's benefiting from today's activities and today's fundraising efforts. There are several others that we just want to mention. Great Lakes, Collaborative for Autism, Maumee Valley Habitat for Humanity, Kids Unlimited, Catholic Charities Diocese of Toledo, Family House, Girls on the Run, as we just mentioned, and Research Down Syndrome. As we go throughout the day, we're going to get a little bit more into some of those charities. We talked about Girls on the Run, but the amazing things that they're doing here in Toledo.
Well, what's amazing is, especially with Habitat with Humanity, the money they raise and the Glass City Marathon is directly related and responsible for home repairs.
And right here, your money that you donate goes right back and it stays here.
It doesn't go to another state and it doesn't go overseas. So it stays right here in Northwest Ohio. So we'll have another story on that coming up later. So stay tuned right here with WNWO and on NorthwestOhio.com to see all those wonderful stories of how so many charities are affected.
And also want to talk really quickly about the economic impact that an event like this has. Not only does it help raise money for these great charities that we just mentioned, but the economic impact of having so many runners come from not only Toledo, but come from surrounding states to come here, possibly qualify for the Boston Marathon, and come here and bring their dollars to local hotels, local businesses, going out to eat. You know, we had people who came in possibly last night and are going to be staying through this evening, spending their dollars right here in Toledo.
And there's just an announcement that the 5K runners are starting to round the final turn. They're going to be coming here at the finish line. So if you see people running, hopefully still on their feet, it's only 3 miles. So even I can actually run 3 miles. I've ran an 8K.
Do you think?
So, yeah, I've done an 8K. I did an 8K. I was forced, but I did it and I enjoyed it and I finished on my feet. So the 5K, they're going to start coming back. Hopefully, we'll be right back after this, and you'll see the 5K runners starting to cross over our shoulders. We'll be right back.
Okay, welcome back to the 37th Annual Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon, your exclusive coverage here on WNWO.
You're going to be saying that in your sleep tonight.
I am going to be saying in my sleep.
Glass City Marathon, the 37th Annual. But we now have some graphics to show you everybody at home that's watching online and on your mobile. Anyone that's watching your mobile, get on over here and watch in front of us. The race has grown incredibly.
It has grown incredibly over the years. And not only that, the race has also changed over the years, but the things that have stayed the same are the races that we actually have. We have, I think a lot of people don't, when they see those stickers on the back of cars that say 26.2 miles, you don't know exactly what that is.
I learned this recently.
Yes, it is the full marathon. We also have the half marathon.
13.1.
The 5K.
Yep.
And we also have a relay that our own WNWO fellow employees are going to be doing as well. I'm not sure how long each of the legs of those are.
Each 5 races, 5 legs, so about 5 miles hit or miss for each runner, and they tag each other and they take off, and then they're going to be working right after that, and we're going to hit up with them live after their leg, and they're going to talk to some people at their stop. There's going to be a lot of people around the course at each relay point. So. And
apparently, we're just hearing some of the runners on their way into the finish line.
The first runner. This is obviously the 5K, not the marathon. Don't get freaked out.
We got a fast one here too.
29 minutes and 37 seconds.
29 minutes, 37 seconds.
Ryan Lau, the first runner to cross the 5K winner. So congratulations to him.
And this is why
congratulations. There he is. Everyone say hello to the first runner to cross the finish line here live on WNWL, the only place to see exclusive.
Where you can see it.
Yes, that's pretty cool. It's like a live look-in, if you will.
And it looks like he's looks
like he wants to run
set
another one.
apart from his competition there, but we are expecting some of the other folks to be coming in. Again, around the 2-hour mark or so. Oh, we got our second person coming in.
Don't tell me second. He might. Here he comes.
Oh, but he's pulling all the way through 30 seconds. 30 minutes, 17 seconds. I bet he's glad to be finished. Probably going to be putting on one of those blankets on momentarily.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, sir.
He's exhausted. I understand why. He just did a dead sprint for 3 miles.
And you know what? In this cold, even though folks are running and, of course, your body temperature is going up, with the outside temperatures, it's never easy to finish a race, especially in the last leg of it. And running buddies can help out with that,
Yes,
right?
running buddies are very good for you. And anyone that really wants to get involved in running and the marathon, half marathon, 5K, whatever it is. And for more on running buddies, here's a beautiful story that WNWO sports reporter Teresa Vignal did.
About 7,000 runners will be crossing the Glass City Marathon's finish line. And 20 of those competitors will be students of the Kids Unlimited Running Buddies program.
It's a great way to get people involved in things that they wouldn't normally get involved with. The kids would never do something like this on their own, and it's a great way to get them involved with the community.
It's people taking time out of their day, teaching you how to run, how to pace yourself so you don't run out of breath. Fitness and it let kids go out and run, just not letting them stay in the house all day playing video games.
Through its Running Buddies program, Kids Unlimited is able to provide a unique fitness opportunity for the kids.
We just talk about healthy lifestyles, and I think that's really important right now with obesity rates. It's just a good way to get them out there exercising, and we really hit hard on setting goals and accomplishing their goals, whatever that means for them.
Since February, the Running Buddies program has been training 20 kids to run the last mile in the Glass City Marathon.
My favorite part is that we get to do the marathon. Given the opportunity to run in this last mile is a great opportunity and chance for us to run.
After several months of training, these kids are ready to show the Glass City what they've got.
Yeah, I get a little queasy and nervous because, it's a lot of people coming out watching everybody run, I don't want to mess up. It feels good with people watching you. I'm going to win again.
Teresa Vignal, WNWO Sports.
All right, well, welcome back. You're now looking at the leader cam here exclusively on WNWO. And just a heads up, we were quoting a time of about 30 minutes for the 5K runners. That's wrong, and they'd be very upset with me if they knew that's what I was quoting. It's actually about the 18-minute mark where they started crossing. We were looking at the wrong clock. There's 2 clocks set up. There's the marathon clock, and then there's the 5K clock as you watch the runners, or the lead runner here on WNWO.
And we saw the first 2 gentlemen coming through the 5K finish line, but we also saw the first woman while we took a quick little break during that story to tell you about running buddies. We saw the first woman cross the 5K finish line line. Then we saw another handful of folks across the finish line. Don't forget, this is the only place you can watch live coverage of the 37th annual Glass City Marathon. All the races were right here at the finish line at UT's Glass Bowl.
And really, people are starting to really fill in, really around the set, around in the bleachers, in the stands, standing on their feet. They have umbrellas. This isn't Fifth Third Field. You are allowed to have your umbrella out here so you can stay dry and enjoy the festivities. It's really a great time. The runners are, it's really cool to see the runners, you see them, they're giving each other high fives, congratulating each other. Although the guy that's giving all the high fives finished ahead of all of them, so it's probably a little bit easier for him to say, congratulations, you finished behind me. But, they really pull together and they train so long, so they know what goes into this, and it's very cool to see.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Make sure you join us when we return to WNWO's live coverage of the 37th annual Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon.
I've only done one. Here comes Bob
yes.
from Defiant.
Okay.
Lacey Nagy.
Yes, Bob here.
Kimberly Bennett from Sandusky. Jeff McClellan from Worthington.
Testing. What? Hello. 37th annual Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon.
Jim Lordy and Matt Wallace.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 37th annual Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon. Also, the Owens Corning 5K and half marathon. We're live here at UT's Glass Bowl, and we have a special guest with us right now.
Yes, Bob Wombold joins us. Thank you very much for joining us in the rain, despite all the rain. And you've been doing this for many years. You are a running connoisseur. You're the MC of this event. So tell us how the race went off and how everything went despite the weather.
Well, we started out at 6 o'clock this morning, getting the crowd fired up with some music. At 6:15, we started a bunch of announcements and assembling the crowd at the start line. Playing a lot of music, trying to get things going, and trying to give the runners the instructions that every runner needs to know before they run a marathon or a half marathon.
Now, is this kind of I know that there are some people who obviously this is going to be their first marathon ever. What are some of the things that you tell the first-timers?
Well, there's approximately 350 first-timers today. And the first-timers, the thing that they really need to know is to not get caught up in a pace. Mm-hmm. One of the things that the Dave's running shops do is they have pace groups at the start. So you can run, if you're going to run between a 3:05 to a 4:50 marathon, you line up according to your pace, and you stay with that pace. First-timers get caught up in a pace that's too quick, and at 13 miles, they've got 13 to go. And, you don't want to get too caught up.
The brick wall. You always hear about the brick wall.
It depends. You always hear between 20 and 22 miles seem to be the spot where people really have a lot of trouble. This course is not that, I shouldn't say it's not that difficult. It's 26.2 miles. The elevation only goes up 50 feet one way or another. So it's kind of like going up a hill and coming back down again. So the elevation's not a problem. And so hopefully runners will pace themselves, and that wall that they hit, maybe it won't be that difficult to get through today.
And what does weather like this do for all runners?
You know, you talk to runners, Angie, and some runners like to run in the rain. I prefer to run in the rain. However, you got some issues. You've got clothing issues. You've got feet issues. Your feet are going to get wet. You may get some rubbing. You may get some chafing in your feet. That is the issue in the rain. The weather conditions, temperature-wise, perfect.
Really? So maybe not so bad of a weather day for some of our running folks.
Not a great show for live TV outside, but good for running, and that's all that really matters.
And spectating not so well.
Yeah, and you have more runners than ever this year. Tell us how that kind of came about and how proud you are of it.
Well, it started out here in, I believe it was 2010. This is the fourth year on the campus of the University of Toledo. Came from downtown Toledo. The university has been very, nice and accommodating in getting us here. Started out with about 4,042 out here in 2010. 6,400 runners this year.
Wow.
6,400 runners in the Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon, Owens Corning Half Marathon, 5K and relays. So a lot of people out there today.
I know that folks had to register for a lot of these events ahead of time. Do you think that if the registration had been any closer to the actual start date, that more people would have tried to get in it after the whole Boston Marathon bombing incident? I thought that more people might want to participate.
Kind of pull together.
Exactly.
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
However, Clint set a cap this year at 7,000 runners. Right. And I think he stuck to that cap. And he set 2,500 for the half, and I think it was 1,500 for the marathon. So, it's possible if you would have extended the date a little bit further, you probably could have picked up.
At last check, do we know who was in the lead? I know you said you have a computer. We're going to be checking in. We can't exactly pull electronics out here in the rain. We are out here in the thick of it, but we're going to be checking in with that, right?
Well, it's going to be difficult to tell who's in the lead for the marathon until they get through Wildwood and to the 8-mile mark. At the 8-mile mark, the runners take a right and head out to Sylvania. The half marathoners take a left and come back on the trail back here. So between now and that 8-mile mark, we're going to have a difficult time telling who our leader is in the marathon.
And what are your same expectations? Do you have names that you're keeping an eye on for the half and the full?
Yeah, for the full marathon, we're looking at Evan Gaynor.
We have a story on Evan coming up a little bit later, actually.
Evan Gaynor is trying to qualify for the Olympic trials. He needs to run the 2:19 or better to qualify for the Olympic trials.
2:19.
Does he have a golf cart, or do you have it's all on your legs?
I think the record is somewhere around there.
Yeah, 2:10 was the record last year. That gentleman's not in the race this year.
There's a little bit of a cash prize for breaking the record.
There is a cash prize for breaking the record. I don't know that that's going to be accomplished today.
Okay.
But Evan, at 2:19, Evan Gaynor gets to the Olympic trials. He has to pay his expenses. At 2:15 or below, all expenses paid to the Olympic trials.
So there is an advantage to finish faster.
There is an advantage to finish
Big
faster.
Financial prize. And what about the half marathon?
Half marathon, great race. We've got Matt Folk, last year's second place winner in the marathon.
We have a story with him as well.
Great runner, second soul, nice guy. We've got Julius Kiptoo.
Yes.
Just heard from Julius, a wonderful story. These guys are all going to try to join us, by the way, when they cross the finish line. So you expect them to do well.
I expect both those guys to do well. And they're going to be challenged by a guy by the name of Lemon, Matt or Chris Lemon. I'm sorry, I talked to him last night.
Chris, either one of them won't do well.
One of the Lemons is going to be in the race, and I believe it's Matt. But it's going to be those three guys we anticipate to be in the lead in the half marathon.
And well, speaking of Evan and Matt, we had a great time with them at their respective places of where they train. Matt kind of had to train inside a lot at his store, Second Soul, because of the weather. And the weather is a big complication. And Evan, we met at a park in Perrysburg. Again, he was training no matter rain, shine, cold, snow. It actually sleeted a little bit. I'm pretty sure one day we were out there with him. And Teresa Vignal, our WNWO sports reporter, has a great story with them.
Elite runners from Ohio, Florida, New York, and even Poland and Kenya will be vying to win the Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon, and a few of those top competitors are from right here in Northwest Ohio.
The nice thing with Glass City is it's a local race, and it's something that's big where there's enough people to push you. But at the same point, you know, if you're from the area, you can spend the night in your own bed, your own comfort zone, what you normally do every day.
I'm really excited for the opportunity to, get out there and kind of run in front of the hometown crowd. I really am looking forward to that.
Matt Folk is one of the top competitors in the men's half marathon, while Evan Gaynor looks to claim the crown for the men's full marathon. Both Northwest Ohio natives cannot wait to compete in front of their hometown crowds.
You know, I'll know a ton of people in the crowd where usually you go to another big city somewhere else and you might not know anybody. So that'd be just really cool to be out there and have friends and family along the course and cheering you on.
This winter has made training for this race difficult, but that hasn't stopped avid runners like Evan and Matt.
Last year we were blessed with a really good winter for training, and this year not. You just get out there every day, and it takes a little more willpower to get out the door.
There's days where you just find a treadmill and have to do it that way. So just try and improvise and do what you can do.
Now all their training will be put to the test as Matt and Evan hope to make Glass City history.
I'm trying to run one of my fastest half marathon times in the last couple of years. I'd like to try and get around 107, which comes out to about 5:10, 5:12 pace.
I do hope to win it. I won't say expect. I'm hoping for a win though. Stick to my race plan and execute. So just get after it. That's all you can do.
Therese Vignol, WNWO Sports.
Javier Cobain.
Welcome back to the Glass City Marathon, the Owens Corning 5K. We now have Ryan Rao, the first place finisher of the 5K. Ryan, it's obviously raining. We don't need to be a weather forecaster or a meteorologist to see that. How did that impact your run today or your pacing of the run?
The main thing is just being careful on the corners. Watch out for slick spots. Other than that, you're just running, the flat straight to Toledo here, and it's, just being careful on the turns going downhill. Right here by the finish was probably the worst spot.
Now, how did you do for your personal goals compared to how you finished?
Personal goals was just to run a fast race.
You pretty much blew the competition away. I don't mean to put anybody down to say that, the race is an accomplishment for pretty much everyone, but you came in well ahead of your competition. So.
Yeah, I ran, I think, like a 16:09, which is a little slower than my PR, but again, the conditions slowed the course down a little bit. I'm here with a lot of people from the Hamburg Fitness Center up in Brighton. We have marathoners, half marathoners, a relay. My girlfriend ran the 5K, so I was just kind of come down here to be part of the group and just see what I could do.
Well, you weren't really part of the group because you finished all by yourself by about 10 minutes, it looked like. But how does this race stand out? I'm sure you've done other 5Ks. How does this race in particular stand out?
I thought the course is beautiful. I love running through the residential area, running around campus. It's a quick race in the fact that every mile had its own distinct feature to it, and so mentally it was easy to get through the 3 miles, trying to run fast.
Now, I wasn't quite sure, but were you running with any sort of music going on?
Oh, no, it's a rule. You cannot, Angie.
It is actually an interesting rule that I found out before looking into today's race, that they actually discourage people from running with their own music. How do you keep... you said that it's interesting enough that you can actually keep going, but when you train, do you run with music or do you not?
No, I've tried it before. I just naturally just go out and run. I just like to think. I like to pray. I like to just be out there with nature. I've just never been a music person when I run.
Now, why the 5K? You're obviously a great runner. You've done so well. Why the 5K versus the half or the full or any other race?
Next weekend I'm going to St. Croix to do the half Ironman down there.
All right then. Wow. And that settles that.
So this was kind of just to see where I'm at kind of run.
And you win.
So you you use the 5K for fun.
Yes, this was in the midst of a training week. This wasn't, yeah.
So, and then Julius Kiptu, this runner we talked to earlier, was also telling me, he was saying that sometimes they run against the clock, sometimes they run against person, and if it's against the clock, they kind of just use it for training. So I guess that's what it was for you.
Yeah, just trying to, this is my first 5K year. I've done a couple half Ironmans earlier this season, but this was just to see what I could do.
All right, well, Ryan, thank you very much for joining us here on WNWO.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Oh, you got the mic. You got the mic. You got the mic. Oh, I thought it was still attached to you. Sorry.
Matt Grogan
Yes.
from Toledo, Kathy Hermiller, Erica Parrish, Yatika Langford from Perrysburg, Rebecca Elperin, Julie Mollinger, Nick Buzzy from Hudson, Michigan.
Okay.
Mary Jo Bukanowski from Sylvania. Rachel Maurer, Carrie Corbin, Carol Forbes from Washington. From Sylvania, Ohio.
Welcome back to the 37th annual Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon, the Owens Corning 5K and Half Marathon. I'm Angie Gonzalez.
And I'm Will Kunkel, and we kind of got ahead of ourselves by saying it's beautiful, the rain has stopped. Well, it's still beautiful with the people around, but the rain, I assure you, has picked up more than ever.
We want to assure you, even though we've been talking about
warm.
some of the security measures as well, though, leading up to today after the Boston Marathon incident, that security was going to be heightened here, that you can still bring your umbrellas, folks.
Yes, you have your personal bodyguards here at all times taking care of you, so you're safe,
Right.
and they can help some other people around as well.
You can tell, though, that we're out in the thick of it, though. We're out here getting wet as well as the runners. We've been watching many of them come in. We just had an interview with Ryan Rao, the winner of the 5K, Owens Corning 5K. Plenty of stories that we've been covering. You and Therese have been covering throughout the week about some of the runners. We actually just got, I believe, a call from one of our viewers telling us that someone running in the race was planning on making sort of a proposal here. We're trying to
effort that. If you can hear us, you can see us, come over to the WNWO tent. I'm waving right now, so if you're watching on your cell phone, come over here. We'll give you guys a beautiful stage, some viewers.
And really quickly, also want to mention that between 8 and 9 o'clock today, we are live online, www.northwestohio.com. You can watch it all there, live, our coverage of the Glass City Marathon.
And don't forget, on your mobile as well, on your iPad, your iPhone, whatever it may be.
Yep. All right, we're going to be checking in with one of the marathon runners today that Will had the pleasure of, and Will and Therese had the pleasure of meeting, Julius Kiptoo. He was telling us a little bit earlier he was concerned about the possible weather concerns because he is a pretty skinny guy.
Yeah, it is skinny, and he said that that's the great equalizer is the weather. And so hopefully it didn't impact his race, but we have a great story with some of the elite runners that are in this race.
As hundreds of young runners laced up their shoes for the Glass City Kids Marathon, some ran for a higher cause. Team 8 is a group of 8-year-olds who ran in honor of Martin Richards, the youngest killed in the blast at the Boston Marathon.
So we're going to run for him and raise people donate money, and we're going to race for him today.
Jeremy Baumhauer organized the team of 26 kids to raise money for the Richards Family Fund. Team 8 raised over $1,000, collecting donations and selling T-shirts just like these, bearing the words, Boston Strong.
For a group of 8-year-old kids, they get to run something, really be a part of something that's meaningful and do something for somebody else.
The University of Toledo Rockets football team led the rest of the field in a pre-race warm-up. Then it was off to the starting block. About 400 kids took part in 3 different races today, and no matter what time they finished, everyone was a winner.
Runner set! Go!
Whether it was for exercise or fun, kids had many different motivations to race.
I'm looking forward to losing weight and getting much faster, and I want to get more strength.
It's a lot of fun because we're really good friends and we get to hang out together over the weekend.
It makes us feel good, and it makes us feel like we're really helping somebody.
Good job! Everyone who crossed the finish line went home with a medal, including all 26 members of Team 8. Eric Wildstein, WNWO.
years old from Toledo.
Thank you very much, Eric. That was obviously a story on yesterday's race, the Kids Marathon by Eric Wildstein, who helped us out with WNWO Sports. A very cool story, and obviously the kids, you raise these children, and hopefully they go on and do a marathon and bigger things.
All right, we're going to quickly take a break, but make sure you join us online, WNWO. NorthwestOhio.com. We're going to be taking a break from 8 to 9. Make sure you join us back here at the 37th Annual Medical Mutual Glass City Marathon here in Toledo, back at 9 o'clock. We'll see you then.